There are a couple of different ways to experience scuba diving while in St. Thomas. So you can do it as a discovery dive in which you don't have to have any previous classes. A lot of people from cruises will actually go this route. And at least for myself, I had done the rest of the PADI course material and confined dives in Atlanta. So I was planning a vacation to St. Thomas and decided that this was really a good opportunity to do my checkout open water dives. And when looking at St. Thomas and looking at dive shops, there's probably about 10 in all. And there's a lot of very good dives. And for me, I sort of looked at what was a central location and came up with Adventure Scuba. This is a company run by Rob, who is a master diver who actually makes you feel very comfortable. He's been doing this forever. He says he had something like 3,000 plus dives. So, I mean, this is a person who has been training people for scuba diving and discovery dive for something along the lines of 30 years. So I really enjoyed this experience with them. And, you know, it wasn't necessarily the most interesting dives, but it was important to be able to make sure that you got all of the checkout material covered that is in the PADI dive requirements. So the other thing that was nice about Adventure Scuba is its location. It's located in Yacht Haven Grand, which is sort of very central to St. Thomas. It's right by the piers where all the cruise liners are. And, you know, what's nice about this area too is you can go out, you can get food and you can get drinks afterwards. But you can also see all these amazing billionaires' boats that are all lined up there. So there's a little bit more to it than just going to the dive school. You actually have an experience when you go there. I was really lucky on this trip to have a dive buddy and close friend by the name of Etienne along on this trip, to where he was doing a refresher dive while I was doing my checkout dives. And I think as far as cost goes, it was about $125, I believe, for a 2-tank dive. And but obviously the best way to do pricing is just to check on Adventure Scuba's website. So, but on our first day, we arrived 30 minutes early, got all of our paperwork set up just to make sure that the dive log was going to be, everything was all paperwork lined up. And then we made our way out to the boat, and got loaded up, and then headed out to Buck Island Cove, which was, it had a wreck or two that was there. It was probably about 40 feet deep, which was the dive that we were supposed to be doing, where we were supposed to be doing our checkout activities. And it was relatively nice. I would not say it's the best dive spot for that we had on the island. That would be Calf and Cow, which was amazing. But it did serve the purposes very well for what we were wanting to achieve. The weather was quite nice, and just what you expect from the U.S. Virgin Islands, which is just nothing but sun and just beautiful weather. It did get a little bit windy at times, but mostly it was fine. I would recommend using a like a wetsuit, because it does get quite chilly. At least for us it was. So after we completed our 2 dives on each day, and we made our way back to Yacht Haven Grand, we actually would go out and just get lunch nearby and grab a beer before moving on with the rest of our day. So after I completed all of the checkout dives with Rob and Adventure Scuba, I basically waited for about 2-3 weeks, and they actually processed my pick card, and I actually literally just received it today in the mail, and it looks something like that. From PADI. So it's exciting now to be able to plan the next adventure. And in the next video, I'm actually going to show the dives that we did for Calf and Cow. Both Etienne and I really enjoyed this dive, and it's pretty highly renowned on St. Thomas. And there's a lot of great dives. So if you're planning on getting a dive certification, St. Thomas is not the worst place that you can go ahead and do it. So if you plan accordingly, maybe do your course material before you get there, and then plan on having a vacation as well as getting your dive certification, and then go and explore and do all kinds of dives around the island. Go with some different dive shops like we did. So stay tuned for the next video, and thank you very much for watching. Till later.